In this tutorial, we are going to cover the Magic Wand tool. In order to access the Magic Wand tool, use the shortcut Y. And now I have the Magic Wand tool. The Magic Wand tool has the ability to select any object with similar traits. It can select objects that have the similar color. It can select objects that have a similar stroke weight, and it can select objects that actually have similar stroke color and I believe opacity and blending modes. If you double click on the Magic Wand tool, you go into the Magic Wand option box, and right now we have selected fill color. So if I click on any object within these rows, let's say if I click on this blue rectangle, it's going to select all the objects that have a similar color of blue. And as I did right now, since I clicked on it, you see it selected the blue circle, the blue pentagon, and the blue oval. I can click on the red rectangle and it will select the red circle, even though it's the opacity is at 50, the red pentagon, and the red oval. Now I can also click on the stroke color, and with the stroke color it will also click, or it will also select all of the objects that have the similar stroke color that I've selected the object with. So in the first row you see stroke colors are black, and in the second row you see stroke colors are black. So if I click on any of these objects in the first two rows, it should select all the first two rows because all of them have the stroke color of black. So when I click on the blue circle, it selects all the first two rows because, like I said, it has the stroke color of black. Now in the last two rows, as you see here, they have the stroke color of orange actually. So if I click on any of them, the last two rows should all be highlighted, and none of them should be highlighted in the first two rows. So let me click on the yellow oval, and as you see here, all of the first or last two rows have been highlighted because I selected the yellow oval, and I also have the option of the stroke color intact. Now if I click on the stroke weight, let me deselect here. If I click on the stroke weight, it's going to select all the objects that have the similar weight, whether it be 1 point or 2 points. In this example, I only have 1 point and 2 points, and in the first row it has actually 2 points, and in the last row it has 2 points, but in the second row and the third row it has 1 point. And since I have stroke color and stroke weight, it's going to select not only the one that has a similar stroke color but also has a similar stroke weight. So if I click on this yellow oval, it's possibly only going to get the first row or the last row because they have the similar stroke color and the similar stroke weight. And as you see here, all of them have been selected. Now let me just click off the stroke color and just only use stroke weight. So with stroke weight, if I click on it again, it should select the last row and the first row because both of them have the similar stroke weight of 2 points, as you see here. See, the 2 points of the stroke weight is up here at the top, so you know how much stroke weight it is. Now if I click on the green, the green circle, it selects the row of the second row and the third row because both of them have the stroke weight of 1 point. Now let's go into the opacity. Since I have the opacity, let me deselect here. Since I have the opacity selected, if I select anything that has a similar opacity to whatever object I selected, it's going to select that similar opacity. Right now within the artboard, I have 4 objects that have the similar opacity to 50%. So when I click on them, all of them are selected. As you see here, all of them look very faded because I put the opacity by 50, as you see here right here. But if I deselect them and click the ones that are not faded, they all should be selected except the ones that are at 50%. Because the four objects within this artboard are at 50%, but the rest of the objects are actually at 100%. So let me deselect and go to the last option, which is the blending mode. The blending mode, as you see here, you can what the blending mode is you can change the objects to darken, multiply, or all these other different options. Majority of these objects have the blending mode to normal, but I believe the last one actually has a blending mode of multiply. And if I click on this one, it actually selects, I believe, was that 5? Because all of them have the blending mode to multiply. If you see here in the yellow, it says multiply. In the green, it says multiply. If I deselect them and select just a regular red, then most of the objects are selected because, like I said before, majority of them have the blending mode to normal. So in any case, these are all the options you can use. You also can tack on all the options to get a more specific selection of colors, of stroke colors, of stroke weight, or opacity. The options are up to you, and that concludes the tutorial.